Hi, I'm Mona McSharry, and this is Her Life, Her Style, Her Sport.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of Her Life, Her Style, Her Sport, brought to you in association with Lifestyle Sports. Here we share the unfiltered stories behind the people achieving great success inside and outside of sport. You can catch up on this episode and every episode on YouTube, our podcast channels, and all our social channels. Today we are joined by elite swimmers Mona McSharry and Ellen Walshe, who are currently on scholarship in the University of Tennessee, Olympians, record breakers, and World Championship medalists. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us.
First of all, you've both been over in Tennessee for some time. What's life like over there in the outside world?
I enjoy it. It's definitely pretty busy. We don't do a lot outside of swimming and college life. There isn't really a lot of hours left in the day. But now that the weather's getting good, we're spending a little bit more time outside, which is nice. We get a little bit more sun than Ireland, so that's definitely a plus.
Ellen, obviously things have been a bit different since you've moved country. Like obviously the Irish culture, the food, everything is different in the US. So what was that change like?
I knew it was going to be a big move for me. I think the comfort of having Mona here was definitely a bonus for me. I was pretty lucky to have her, to be able to just settle in and have someone from home. But yeah, it's definitely been a big change. I think I've adjusted well to it and I'm enjoying every moment over here. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely nice that you're both over there together, and I suppose can comfort each other when you are missing home. Mona, what would be the biggest thing that you miss about Ireland?
I think I've said this many times, but probably the food. My mom is a pretty good chef, but I think just in general the food from home I definitely miss the most, and I try to replicate it here, but it's just not the same, I think.
What about you, Ellen?
Definitely family, my boyfriend, the dogs, just like your home comforts, I think. It's definitely tough at times, but having Mona is a great bonus for me.
We definitely saw the dog. You got that dog just before the Olympics during lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been so fun. Like I've obviously missed a bit of a part of it, but apparently he's massive now, so I'm excited to go home and see him.
He looks very cute. Tell us about making your decision to go to Tennessee, because I know we caught up before and you were kind of evaluating your options and about staying in Ireland or the options that you had abroad. So how did you come to that decision?
My coach at home, Brian, was kind of helping me along and was kind of like, you should really look into more options. And I kind of think that pushed me on and was like, okay, maybe I do need to make a move. And I know Tennessee had reached out to me in the past, so I kind of got back in contact with them and we were back and forth, and I was with other colleges too, but I kind of just linked a lot more with Tennessee, and that it was a pretty quick decision, to be honest. I didn't have a long thought process about it. I just kind of made the decision and here I am now in the States, I guess.
Yeah, and it definitely all seems to be paying off and looks like there's a really good environment. Mona, what was the push for you, obviously, in making that decision? I suppose for Ellen, she could ask you some of the questions, but you went out there and had to kind of figure it all out.
Yeah, I think honestly, even when I came here, I didn't really know a lot about the college system or how anything really worked, but I knew I definitely wanted to come to the States for college. So it was just really about picking the place, and I got the opportunity to visit a couple of different places, and I think that really helped me make my decision because it felt very much like home. Looking at a lot of different colleges, they all had 50-meter pools and this facility and that facility, so it was really a toss-up for all that stuff, but I really wanted a place where I felt like I had a family, and that was definitely Tennessee.
In terms of the process and getting over there, and for anyone that's looking at potentially taking up a scholarship in the States, whether it's in swimming or in athletics or something, what would your advice be?
Ask a lot of questions. It's really hard. The process of getting a visa and all your college papers and trying to get everything organized is really challenging, to the point where I definitely wondered why I bothered doing all this hard work. But after you get all that done, you do have a light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, but definitely asking questions and making sure that the college is helping you with that stuff, because that's what they're there for. They have a lot of resources. And I think some people feel like they have to figure it out themselves, which is not the case.
Yeah, asking questions seems like a good idea, because obviously you don't want to have any kind of false perception of what you're signing yourself up to. And there's obviously so many people, like Irish athletes from swimming and athletics in particular, that are in the States. So, definitely reach out and find out what the experiences are like. What does like a typical day look like for you guys, between obviously studying, swimming, and life outside of the pool?
So normally I think we do like 3 early mornings a week, which they're not as early as they were for me. And then after that, it's kind of 1 or 2 to 3 classes max, a bit of downtime, and then training again. So yeah, we have like a routine that works week on week. It doesn't really change. So yeah, busy.
What are your hobbies outside of sport?
Um, I do like to cook. I cook outside of, I think that's probably what I'm doing. Or I recently got a dog, so I spend a lot of time just cuddling with her too. That's about all I do.
I don't feel like I have much hobbies than sleeping, to be honest, especially as I don't have the independence to be able to drive around. Like I don't have a car yet, so it's from the pool to my dorm, and if I need to go somewhere, it's asking people for a lift. So that's definitely a big change for me, as like I've been driving since I was 17 at home, and I could go where I wanted when I nicked the car off my parents. But yeah, so hopefully next year there'll be more freedom, so more things I could do.
What are you studying over there?
It's kind of undecided, but I'll probably do like kinesiology or child and family studies or something along the lines of that.
Nice. And what about you, Mona?
I'm in kinesiology, so I just recently decided, which was nice. I had a lot of time where I could just figure out what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and that's something about the system in the States, isn't it, where you get a bit of flexibility to decide what you want to study. Is that something that you think is a benefit?
Yeah, I think it's great, because I know like a lot of people do want to go to college or feel they'll need it in the future at some point, but don't necessarily know what they want to do yet. And at least you can, like for me, I tried out a lot of different classes with the intention of going into some sort of biology major, but realized that chemistry was not for me. And there's a lot of chemistry involved in biology. So I decided to move a different route. And that's something I wouldn't have really known until I actually took some classes. So I think it's really beneficial.
Absolutely. In terms of your time, we're obviously talking about how much is spent in like the pool and the gym and training and that type of thing. What would you say your favorite style is when it comes to training gear, Ellen?
Probably like for the gym, I prefer to wear like a Nike Pro, like a tighter short, not something that's as flowy, I think. And then we have gear from Tennessee that we have a top each week we wear, which is just a normal t-shirt really. So yeah, nothing too exciting.
What's your go-to outfit, Mona?
Probably about the same. I think if it gets really warm and we're doing circuits, I definitely prefer to just wear like a sports bra and shorts, because you get so warm. But in general, yeah, just a t-shirt and shorts, I think, is always the way to go for lifting.
When you're outside of the pool and the gym, does like athleisure wear feature in your day-to-day wardrobe?
That's pretty much all I wear. I wear tracksuit bottoms and some sort of baggy t-shirt or sweatshirt 90% of the time. And now it's getting warm, so it's tracksuit shorts, I guess, and still the same t-shirts. That's all.
What about you, Ellen?
I know for early morning training, I prefer to throw on a pair of tracksuit bottoms just because they're easier to get on and off with getting in and out of the pool. But I try to wear leggings to college and a big jumper. Just to make, I don't know.
You're listening to Her Life, Her Style, Her Sport with Mona McSharry and Ellen Walshe. Ellen, leggings or tracksuit bottoms?
Leggings, probably.
Mona, a hoodie or a sweatshirt?
A hoodie.
Ellen, a t-shirt or a tank top?
I normally just throw the hoodie on over my sports bra, but if I had to pick one, probably a tank top I would normally have on. Yeah.
Nice. We're getting all the inside secrets now. It's just hoodie and leggings and off you go.
Yeah.
And socks and slides, is it acceptable?
Yeah, I think so. If my toes are painted or like they have shellac on them, I'll probably go around with my feet. But if they're not, then definitely socks are on my toes, on my
Nice.
feet.
What shoes would you guys recommend for the gym?
I don't wear any shoes in the gym. I'm strictly socks. The minute I step into the gym, I take my shoes off. I don't know why. I hate wearing shoes in the gym.
Ellen, what's your recommendation?
I definitely wear Nike Reacts, I think they're called. I have pairs of them and I find them really comfortable for the gym. So yeah.
Nice. In terms of your sport then, so obviously this is her life, her style, her sport. So swimming's obviously a huge part of your lives. How and when did you start, Ellen?
I started swimming lessons when I was 4 and I joined a club when I was 7. And I never thought of competing. I probably didn't even know what it was at that age. And yeah, we've gone from there. I did a lot of other sports throughout alongside of swimming, but swimming was the main path for me. So yeah.
On what age did you start competing and like find that you enjoy it and obviously love competition because you're still doing it?
I'd say I probably started competing around 8 or 9. And then I made my first Irish team when I was 13. And I think that was kind of when I knew I was probably going to take it as my hobby, I guess.
Okay, we've identified the hobby finally. Mona, for you, what was your kind of journey like?
I started lessons when I was 5, and then I didn't join a proper swim club until I was 9. So a little bit older, I guess. And then at that point, I was probably just doing like not Commonwealth games, community games. That's a very different level. I was doing like community games, and so kind of getting a taste for competing in swimming, but also all the other sports too. And then it kind of just built from there. I didn't really do many other sports. I just kind of kept adding to swimming and competing more, moving up, and eventually figured out that it was something I wanted to commit to seriously, I guess.
So in terms of like the journey that you've both been on, you know, the Olympics was a dream that you both realized and, you know, is the pinnacle of sports. So what was it like to get there? And then obviously to go together?
I think it was great. I mean, getting to achieve something that so few get to achieve. And I mean, I think it's a dream for so many people that are in sport. It's at the top of basically any sport that's an Olympic sport, I guess. And being able to achieve that and then go, but also get to go with, 2 other women, which is very rarely seen. I mean, in 2016, Fiona Doyle went by herself as a female. And I think it was so much more enjoyable that me, Ellen, and Danielle got to experience everything together and, have fun and make so many memories along the way while also getting to compete at the highest level.
Ellen, for you, like you had a tough journey in terms of qualification. I know a lot of the qualifying competitions, you were put in racing by yourself and that type of thing. When you finally got qualified, like how did that feel?
I guess it wasn't the way I would have thought it would be. Once you qualified, it's like a big celebration, but it definitely wasn't for me. I definitely didn't celebrate it as much as I should have looking back on it. But yeah, it was a waiting game and a long process, but I got myself on the team, and to go with Mona and Danielle was just an amazing experience that we could all experience our first Olympic Games. Like, you'll only ever experience your first Olympic Games once, so to experience it together was pretty special.
So it sounds like there's more on the agenda with big plans for you both.
Yeah, it's definitely not over yet.
Good to hear. Does that taste of competition and being at that top level, does it drive you to just keep on wanting more?
Yeah, I think so anyway. I mean, getting to be there, and I think as an athlete, whatever competition you compete at or goal you achieve, you're constantly on to the next goal. There's very rarely a moment where you like celebrate for too long because you're like, okay, well, I've got this now and what's next? And so I think, getting there, it was amazing. And now we're thinking about what's next and how can we improve on that performance. So yeah, I'm definitely excited for the next couple of years.
I hope Ellen, that you both celebrated at the World Championships and took that time to take it all in. There was lots of great pictures of the two of you in video, like celebrating together. How proud are you of yourselves, but also of each other in, you guys made history in getting those 2 medals at the World Championships?
I think for me, I find it hard to say I'm proud of myself. It was a big goal and I achieved it, but as Mona said, like, I'm hungry for more. I'm not done yet. And kind of same with the Olympics, I finished and I just wasn't satisfied. So I remember talking to Mona in September in Max the Mini, Mona's little car, and we were kind of being like, we're so excited to go to World Short Course. And I think both of us were just hungry for more, ready to get up and just go again with no fear. So that's what we did, and we came home with 2 medals. I can't remember. Did you get one? Okay, I can't remember, sorry. But yeah.
Well, there's videos of you hugging and everything and all that celebration, so don't worry, we can send that on to you after.
I didn't know if you got 1 or 2. I honestly, it was so long ago.
No, it's great to hear that there's like consistent drive, like, for wanting more, and obviously getting to compete at the Olympics, and you're wanting to keep pushing to get better and better every time, which is really exciting to hear. You're at the top of Irish swimming, so like, you're role models for so many people. Like, Mona, what's it like to get all that support and the fandom kind of after the Olympics? Like, you made it to a final and then a medal at the World Short Course shortly after.
I think it's really just heartwarming to have that support. And I guess I knew of it, but I didn't really realize until I went to the Olympics and kind of seen how many people that were watching and I guess cheering me on, who didn't even really know me and I'd never met. And I think just being able to like have that opportunity to inspire younger women as well, and try and show them where they can go with sport, I think is just, it's a great plus of being an athlete. And I really enjoy that aspect.
In terms of being in the University of Tennessee, Ellen, like, what's it like competing over there, and like looking at the facilities from scenes and like the stories and everything? It looks like these great facilities and then also great camaraderie between the team.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of getting used to, like, the dual meets have really helped me progress, being more of a competitor than I ever will be. I think you just got to get up and go. You can't have too much fear. It's just like, you're in this race, like, and it's just go. And then a swim down, and then you're straight back cheering. Like, there's no resting time. There's no sit back and relax. You're just so invested in each other. It's definitely a different culture than I would ever experience at home. So, yeah.
In terms of like, you guys would have been training alongside boys growing up, is that the same situation over there, or do you just train as part of a women's squad?
It's mixed. The first year I came here, we were still separate, so we didn't really train with the men, but then at the end of last year, so just before Ellen came, we actually rejoined and we're now together most of the time. We definitely do a couple of practices where it's just the women and just the men, because they see that we need different things at times, but we also come together and do group practices. So I think we're getting the best of both worlds, because we have those practices where it's just women and we can kind of push each other on. And then you also have practices where it's the whole team together, and that's really nice too. And you can kind of just really feel the energy from everyone.
Yeah, no, I know, like, you've obviously been training with guys since you have been growing up, and there's, you're obviously going out there and competing against them too all the time. Like, as a competitor, you always want to win, no matter who you're racing. What are the kind of benefits that you're talking about in terms of training as the women's squad? And it's great that there's so many women, because I know in Ireland, at say the age that you both are, it can be scarce that you have that volume of female athletes training together.
Yeah, it definitely blows my mind the amount of women we have here. Like, we don't even have that many women that age at home swimming, never mind in one place in the States. So it's super competitive bunch of girls, and we're all so close in terms of times. Like there's not much between any of us, so I'd say it's hard enough for the coaches to make a team to put together and be like, this is the team. So because everyone is just super competitive and driven each day of the week. So yeah, it's really nice to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like a really great thing to be a part of. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat to us on Her Life, Her Style, Her Sport. It's great to hear both getting on so well, and we can't wait to see you racing over the next couple of weeks and months.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Her Life, Her Style, Her Sport with Ellen Walshe and Mona McSharry, two of Ireland's young Olympians. From the Tokyo Olympics to World Championship medals, we look forward to seeing what's next for these two young Irish stars. Tune in to the next episode of Her Life, Her Style, Her Sport, coming soon.
Hi, I'm Ellen Walshe, and this is Her Life, Her Style, Her Sport.